Hi there, and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Micah Richards says Arsenal have an amazing player who is reaching world-class levels. Micah Richards has heaped praise on an Arsenal player after seeing him in action against Bayern Munich in the Champions League this week. The game between Arsenal and Bayern Munich this week was a fantastic watch. Top quality footballers on either side went up against each other, and the game had everything: goals, mistakes, drama, and controversy. One player who was involved in a lot of things on Tuesday was Bukayo Saka. The Englishman scored a beautiful goal to open the scoring and remained a constant threat. He was involved in some controversy later on as well when he was denied a penalty in the last minute of the game. Mika Richards watched Saka this week, and it looks like he was blown away by the 22-year-old's performance. The pundit noticed how Saka has now stepped up to be the man of the team in important moments and deliver on the biggest stage, which pushes him closer to becoming a world-class player. Richard said on the Rest is Football podcast the following: when you have so many good youngsters, especially going into a tournament, we've talked about Declan Rice, we've talked about Phil Foden, but Saka, honestly, he is such an intelligent, amazing, wonderful talent. I say that because he sort of takes up this role that I'm going to be the man of the team in the big moments. You expect that, of course, when you get in the world class tag, or going to be world class, but how you define world class or how you define a top player is performing in the big games. He didn't hide. Top players don't hide. He took his goal so well. I could see it before he even scored. He was like he is going to bend it into the far corner. His execution was just brilliant. He is such a wonderful player. Mikel Arteta told he has to start electric Arsenal player against Bayern Munich next week. Arsenal face what is perhaps the biggest game of their season next week as they head to the Allianz Arena to face Bayern Munich in the Champions League quarter-final second leg. There is a lot of pressure on Mikel Arteta to get his tactics and team selection right in the second leg, and speaking on the Handbrake Off Podcast, Adrian Clarke has claimed that there is one Arsenal player who should now start in the second leg after being benched on Tuesday. Speaking on the podcast, Clarke stated that Gabriel Jesus has to start in the second leg, claiming that he looked electric when he came off the bench this week. He said, "No way Trossard was missing. I thought Jesus was electric when he came on. He should have done enough to secure his start in the return leg. He can go there and do what he did against Sevilla in my opinion. It's the type of occasion he should relish." We absolutely agree with what Clarke is saying here. Jesus is one of the only players in this Arsenal squad who has the experience of going into one of these massive European games away from home and getting a result. He's been here on so many occasions in the past with Manchester City, and that experience is invaluable in the Champions League. Of course, it will be difficult to justify dropping anyone from this Arsenal team after this fantastic run of recent form, but Jesus is a weapon that Mikel Arteta can't really afford to leave on the bench in a game of this magnitude. It will be very interesting to see what Mikel Arteta does in Bavaria next week. Arsenal star on the verge of leaving, with La Liga clubs interested in him. According to reports, Arsenal are prepared to cash in on one of their young talents this summer, with his future at the Emirates Stadium looking dark. While the Gunners are currently involved in a title battle, the team will already have one eye on the approaching transfer window. One player in particular who has an unclear future in North London is Charlie Patino, the 20-year-old currently playing for Swansea on loan, but the stunt hasn't exactly gone well. Under new Swansea manager Luke Williams, the 20-year-old has only made sporadic appearances and hasn't made a start for the championship team since the beginning of January. According to the Standard, Patino's chances of playing for Mikel Arteta are dwindling and he plans to move overseas this summer. According to the source, Arteta is expected to sanction the midfield player's departure during the next transfer window, allowing Arsenal to take advantage of the young player's contract. Additionally, according to the same source, Patino has admirers in Spain. It's interesting to note that the midfield player's father granted him a Spanish passport, which could ease his transfer to La Liga. Patino, who is only 20 years old, still has many great years in front of him. Therefore, moving overseas could be the best move for him right now. Over his career as a professional football player, Patino has shown glimpses of promise and ability. Patino gained vital experience and playing time last season on a fruitful loan at Blackpool, but recent events indicate that Patino's circumstances may be changing as his opportunities at Swansea City have decreased. Patino's probable exit from Arsenal represents a turning point in his career, one that will hopefully allow him to thrive in fresh settings and reach his full potential on the pitch. Parlour says Arsenal absolutely should pay £40 million to sign world-class striker. Arsenal are going to be in the market for a new striker this summer. The Gunners need a clinical number 9 in their side if they are to go to the next level, and there have been plenty of strikers linked as of late. The likes of Alexander Isak and Victor Gyökeres are said to be on Arsenal's radar, but perhaps the player most strongly linked with a move to the Emirates has been Ivan Toney. The Brentford striker has been linked to Arsenal for months now, and amid reports, his price tag has dropped as low as £40 million. There has been further chat about Toney potentially coming to North London. Speaking on TalkSport, Parlour has now endorsed this deal at that price, claiming that Arsenal should certainly go in for Toney at £40 million. Parlour shared his verdict on Arsenal going for the world-class striker. He said, "I think he is much more in that bracket you'd be looking to buy. Yeah, at 60, 70 or 80 million pound, I wouldn't have gone anywhere near that. But yes, Arsenal should sign him because 40 million pound in this day and age is not a bad deal for me." We have to agree with Parlour here. £40 million for a player of Tony's quality would be an absolute snap. The striker has proven that he knows how to score goals at Premier League level, and there is even more to his game than just goals. He is a strong player who is fantastic with his back to goal, and while there have been some questions around his attitude and recent behavior, he is still a quality footballer who is surely worth a punt at just £40 million. Tony could well be the answer to Arsenal's striking problems this summer. Arsenal are preparing a bid to sign £85.5 million striker who's scored more goals than Erling Haaland. Arsenal are already preparing their plans for the upcoming summer transfer window. The Gunners are currently on top of the Premier League table and still in with a chance of going through to the semi-final of the Champions League next week. All the talk about summer transfers has quietened down as the focus is on the pitch, but Edu Gaspar is said to be working hard on new signings behind the scenes. One striker has caught Arsenal's eye, and the Gunners are reportedly preparing an offer to sign him now. Victor Gyökeres is one of the most prolific strikers in world football right now. The Swede, who joined Sporting Lisbon from Coventry City last summer, is a star in Portugal and is all set to become a wanted man at the end of the season. Arsenal are likely to strengthen their attack this summer with a new prolific goal scorer expected to be on their wish list. Mikel Arteta's side have been linked with plenty of names over the last few weeks, but Gyökeres seems to be very high up on their list of targets. To add further fuel to all the rumors, Gyökeres' agent has come out and suggested that his client will likely leave if Ruben Amorim, who has been heavily linked with the Liverpool job, ends up leaving this summer. Reporting the above comments, Portuguese journalist Pedro revealed that Arsenal and their London rivals Chelsea are both preparing an offer to send to Sporting Lisbon to sign Gyökeres. The striker has a release clause in his contract that's set at an eye-watering £85.5 million. Mikel Arteta has built a brilliant squad at Arsenal. Almost every player who starts regularly is at an elite level, and all of their attackers have chipped in with goals since the start of last season. However, the one thing Arsenal lack in attack is a prolific number 9 who will guarantee them 25 or more goals every season. That's probably why they are looking at Victor Gyökeres, a player who is outscoring all the superstar forwards in the Premier League this season, including Erling Haaland. Arsenal and Man United consider move for £128 million rated attacker. According to Spanish publication Vigaches, Arsenal and Manchester United have expressed interest in signing AC Milan star Rafael Leao this summer. The 24-year-old who joined San Siro Stadium from Lille in 2019 has become one of Serie A top players in recent years, having helped his team win the Scudetto a few years ago. The Portuguese player had a difficult start to the season, but in the last few games he has shown signs of promise, tallying 12 goals and dishing out 10 assists in 38 appearances across all competitions. Leao is a major target for Arsenal, who seek to bolster their offensive unit in the summer, according to the Vigaches report. The Portuguese player is reportedly valued by Milan at about £128 million, and Arsenal are unwilling to pay that much since they also want to bolster other areas of their squad. Vigaches also claims that Manchester United are prepared to step up their efforts in order to get Leao, meaning the Red Devils might thwart Arsenal's ambitions to acquire the Milan attacker. The Portuguese player is talented and may be a wise addition to Manchester United or Arsenal. However, Leao's work rate of the ball isn't up to the standards established by the managers of Gunners and the Red Devils, since both Arteta and Ten Hag like using a high pressing approach. Leao typically plays left wing position for both his club and his country. He is powerful, fast, and adept at dribbling past opposing defenders in confined spaces. He can also connect plays, create opportunities for other attackers, and finish plays well. Both the clubs would find it difficult to match Milan's high asking price for the Portugal international. It is expected to be a busy summer transfer window at the Emirates Stadium and Old Trafford, with both the teams needing additions in a number of different positions. Arsenal dealt major transfer blow as a club confident top target will sign a new deal. Despite being a long-time transfer target for Arsenal, Aston Villa are reportedly confident midfielder Douglas Luiz will sign a new contract. Becoming an integral figure under Unai Emery, Luiz, 25, has been one of the Villains' most used, trusted, and relied upon players this season. Louis' importance to his side's push for European qualification cannot be underestimated, and in line with his role, the club, according to TalkSport, are hopeful of tying him down on fresh and presumably improved terms. Reportedly, growing increasingly hopeful, the Brazilian will agree to extend his stay at Villa Park. The club could deliver a brutal transfer blow to league leaders Arsenal after Mikel Arteta identified the number 6 as the ideal player to continue his Gunners' transformation. Speculation Luiz will sign a new long-term deal in the Midlands means Arsenal's transfer business will have to lie elsewhere in the summer, regardless of whether or not they go on to lift their first Premier League title since 2004. As for Luis, the South American is deserving of all the plaudits coming his way. His efforts in the heart of Emre's midfield have ensured Villa are back on the right track and appear to have justified the club's decision to reject the transfer approaches last summer. Since joining the Villains from Manchester City in 2019, who has represented Brazil on 12 occasions, has directly contributed to 46 goals in 197 games in all competitions. As we wrap up today's Arsenal news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.